So they called off school today, which was at first a little bit irritating because I looked outside. It wasn't even fucking snowing out. I got the phone call at 5 o'clock in the morning, which number one was already in. It was irritating. My wife warned me that it was going to happen. In all fairness, she told me that it was going to happen. She said the school was going to call like 5 o'clock in the morning and cancel classes for the day due to the quote unquote oncoming crazy snowstorm that was about to hit, which actually never hit. It did snow a little bit, but this big crazy planet Hoth-like blizzard never fucking hit where I'm at, yet they had to preemptively call off school, which I find kind of annoying a little bit because my wife and I both work from home, and thank God, so we don't have to go scramble to find childcare. But our kids only live, we only live like a 5-10 minute walk away from the high school where my oldest son goes. We live a mile-ish from the elementary school where my other kid goes. What's the fucking problem? We could have got their asses there. There wasn't even that big of a deal for a storm. Anyway, it just reminds me back in the day when you used to be able to go out and brave that kind of shit, and they didn't call off classes. They didn't call off school. They might have given you an excused absence if you couldn't make it in, because I lived way out in the country. I know how that shit was, but they didn't call off school. Back in the day, you had to brave that shit. Anyway, hey, let me get into welcoming everybody who's just now joining in. Rachel Goodrich, good to see you. Frank, Jasper, Jack, all the way from Indiana, good to see you. Hey, guys, hit the share button. Troy from up in Wisconsin. Randy over in Clinton, Wisconsin. How did it go last night with Charlie Wiener at Boxcars? Marie, everybody. Susan Brower up there in the Michigan UP. What's going on with you? I always like going up to the Michigan UP, and I always do the same joke. When you come to the Michigan UP, it's like driving so far north, you actually wind up in the south. But hey, guys, do me a favor. Hit the share button. Give me some comments. I'm talking today about stuff that used to be it was considered perfectly cool back in the day when I was a kid, but now it's dangerous. We got to protect everybody. We got to protect everybody from the impending snowstorm that's on its way because, somebody might get into a car accident. Well, then don't fucking drive. I get it. You might get into a car accident. I get it. Things are unsafe. I get it. You're already taking your chances getting into the goddamn car to begin with. But now you got to worry about safety belts and seat belts and everything else. I'm going to get started on this rant here in just a second, but give me your comments and your suggestions about things that used to be perfectly cool back in the day, perfectly fun, perfectly legal, but now dangerous to the point where we have to make laws. We have to do preemptive safety awareness. We have to do preemptive safety cancellations just so nobody gets hurt. Anyway, I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. I rant and rave and I talk shit just like I will be doing this Friday night in Bay City, Michigan. So if I got any Michigan friends or followers watching right now, hit me up with a like, hit me up with a share. Let your friends know that I will be coming to Bay City for a show at AJ Bailey's. And then I head over to Lowell, Michigan this Saturday night, January 13th, for a show at Larkin's Comedy Club. I think that one might actually already be sold out. I'm not sure. Jerry Donovan, if you were watching, I know you've got all the info and insight on Larkin's Comedy Club. It's promoted by Jerry Donovan Comedy. That dude does an amazing fucking job with comedy over there in central Michigan. So shout out to you, brother, if you happen to be watching. Hit me up with a like or a comment just so I know. Otherwise, I might see you on the replay. And everybody else, likes, comments, shares, all that good stuff. Let the good folks in Michigan know that I'll be coming your way no matter what. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, there will be a JerDog comedy show this weekend. Bay City, Michigan, tomorrow night, and Lowell on Saturday night. Also, I want to show you guys this real quick before we get into it and I start ranting and raving. This is my CD, Totally Baked. I actually am now giving this away for free if you want to get a copy of my old CD, because I'm going to be putting out a new one soon. I want to get all my stuff out there, get as much free comedy out there as possible, give you guys as much as I possibly can, just like I learned from watching The Godfather way back in the day. Make them an offer they can't refuse. How can you refuse free comedy? free comedy. So I'll put a link up in the description here. I'll put a link in the comments and just scroll back through on the replay, and you will be able to go and register just to get my CD for free. Comes totally free and comes with my very own special brownie recipe as a free bonus. But hey, entertainment purposes only. I cannot be held responsible for your actions. See, right there, I've got to put in a safety warning, because you never know what dumb shit might take you seriously. They might not understand the humor involved. They might not pick up on sarcasm. And that's why you got to have all these stupid fucking safety warnings everywhere. You know, if you go pump gas, I used to do a bit about this in my stand-up. If you go pump gas, there'll be a safety warning on the gas tank. It'll say on the gas pumper, it'll say, please do not use your cell phone while pumping gas. Static electric charges could cause an explosion. They already proved that shit wrong on Mythbusters. If static electricity could make a gas station explode, I could rob the place with nothing but a fucking balloon. I was pumping gas while I'm talking on my cell phone. I had the Bluetooth in even. It wasn't even one of those old school flip phones with the extractable antenna, which is what they needed to scrape the wiring up a little bit and then cover it in gas and then shoot it with a fucking flamethrower in order for it to make an explosion on Mythbusters. All right, so they already proved it wrong there. I've got on the Bluetooth. I'm talking to my wife. I'm talking to whoever about the upcoming gig I'm about to do while I'm on the road. Dude comes run out of the gas station to work. They're screaming at me to hang up the phone because I could blow this whole place up. It's just getting out of hand, man. We've got all these goddamn dumb stickers all over the place about people who could blow themselves up, about do not try this at home, cannot be held responsible for your actions. You got to have disclaimers on a fucking comedy poster because people come out thinking that it's going to be some Chuck E. Cheese show, some Sesame Street knock-knock deal. You know, like back in, I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa. We used to have the show called Floppy that would come on at noon times and at 3 o'clock again. And it was a puppeteer. It was a ventriloquist, Dwayne Elliott. He had a dog in a box, a puppet dog in a box. He used to chat it up. They showed cartoons. Kids would get on there, and they would do knock jokes. You know, Chris Carter, you're joining in. You know what I'm talking about, like Leon P. Jones type of stuff, you know. Hey, knock, knock, who's there? Interrupting chicken, interrupting, stuff like that. Like just dumb shit. That's what people expect sometimes. And I think that when they're coming out to see a stand-up comedy show in a fucking bar, by the way, where you have to be 21 and over to get in, and then they're surprised when they hear foul language. So you got to put a disclaimer on the goddamn poster that this stuff is for adults only, not for the easily offended. Back in the day, you didn't have to worry about that. It was kind of just assumed. You know, it was kind of just assumed that if you're going to go to a bar, you're going to hear the type of talk that takes place in a bar. Nowadays, not so much. But nowadays, people aren't even offended by like cursing or adult talk. They're more offended by your attitude towards certain subject matter. It's like I said earlier, you can't pick up on nuance, sarcasm. Not you guys. You guys are all cool, of course, because you're already on my friends list here on Facebook. You've already been to a JerDog show. You already know what to expect. You already know to expect when you hit the Watch JerDog Live button on Facebook that I'm probably not going to keep it clean. I'm probably going to be, you know, granted, a lot of this is talking out of my ass. But I'm not, it ain't child friendly. You got to be at least 13 to be on this fucking thing anyway. So, you know, disclaimer, don't watch the 420 report if you've got sensitive ears within range. Disclaimer right there. I put it out earlier, and I'll go through your disclaimer should say 4 fucking I like that, Chris Carter. See, that's what I'm talking about. And these guys, that's a professional comic right there. That, I mean, not stand-up, but back in the day, we did the Comedy Wild West show. And you did have to keep it clean. You had to keep it clean. It's not like, you know, it's not one of these deals where it's, oh, JerDog has to curse in order to be funny. Back in the day, I did the Comedy Wild West show at state fairs and amusement parks. It was for kids. It was for families. It was for all ages. And that was a good skill set to develop. It was an excellent skill set to develop, to learn how to be funny without the quote unquote crutch of cursing. But now it's not that I need a crutch. It's just that I like to keep it real. I like to keep it authentic. I like to stay in the moment. I think it's where the best comedy comes from. It comes from real life shit. And you might wind up making fun of somebody who's easily offended. You might wind up telling a story or making fun of a situation that it just hits a little too close to home for people. You might use words that people don't like. Fucking get over it. Get over it. Rachel Goodrich with the comment, already heard complaints that the new barricade in town is for adults. Oh, the new barcade. I thought the barricade. I'm like, you probably do need a barricade. You know, let the people with the guts to go into this dangerous situation, let them go through the barricade. Let the other people stay on the other side of safety. But the new barcade is for adult. It is. So in town here where I live, they've put in a new bar where it's all old school retro video games. All the old school Pac-Man, old school Donkey Kong. And, you know, it totally speaks to guys like me, 42 years old, that remember that shit. I used to spend hours upon hours playing Atari, playing Nintendo. Remember that shit? And now they got a bar in town that's just littered with those types of machines you can go to, get drunk, and throw down some Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or some Super Mario Brothers. But, you know, it's a bar. It's a bar. And even back in the day when those video games are like in the lounge part of a bowling alley, you know, those are for kids. But he'll still heard some pretty salty language up in there, and you can still buy a beer. Hell, back in my time, where did I drop? I dropped my phone. Back in my time, you could do all kinds of crazy shit. And I put it out there on here, and I got a list that came up from my Facebook post earlier. What were some of the things that were considered cool back in the day, but now considered dangerous? Riding in the back of a pickup truck. Remember that? That was like the fun way to get around town. Ride in the back of the pickup truck, you know, especially like for football games or shit. Even when I was growing up, pretty much everybody I knew had a pickup truck because they were all farmers or new farmers. Like every guy I knew had a pickup truck. That's the only way you can get around. Two people up front, everybody else in the back. Now you can't even ride in the back of the pickup truck. You got to ride in the front seat of the car, the back seat of the car, you know, perfectly safety belted in, harnessed in. You got to be 13 years old, damn near, before they even let you out of the child seat. What is the weight limit now? The weight limit's like 125 pounds or something like that to be in the child seat. You know, I know grown adults who are like my height, like 6 foot. I want to say I got called out on my height earlier over New Year's Eve. I said I was 6'1". It was like, there's no way you're 6'1". You're 6 foot. Let's call it 6 foot and a half. All right. So I know grown adults who are 6 foot and a half that weigh about 125, 130 pounds. Yeah, they're skinny fuckers. They're definitely skinny fuckers, but they should be in a child seat. If the whole thing is just based on weight, you know, you got grown adults in a fucking child's booster seat. What the hell? What were some other things that were considered okay and safe and cool back in the day? I mean, besides feminism, that's now considered dangerous. I just did that to piss off of people who I know are watching just to get your go. It's a fucking joke. Sledding with wooden sleds, staying home alone. Yeah. Do you even have latchkey kids these days? I don't know. That's like if you go out and say that your kid's a latchkey kid, you might get accused of bad parenting in this politically correct day and age. I don't know. My wife and I are pretty much stay-at-home parents. You know, this is how I spend my afternoon, talking shit into a laptop camera. But you know, are there latchkey kids out there? I don't know. Riding around town in grade school, selling anything for school fundraisers. You used to be able to actually go door to door. Now that's like a dangerous thing. You got to send the school fundraiser off with your parents to their work, and then they got to sucker all their friends at work into buying some piece of shit made in China bull crap just to raise money for the school, which 80% of that doesn't even go to the fucking school to begin with. But we're not even teaching kids real salesmanship anymore by sending them door to door to learn how to persuade a stranger to buy something and to support the cause. Instead, it's like, oh, let's just keep it safe. Let's just make sure that everybody is on equal footing, and you can send this form with your parents when they go to work, and they can sucker all their fucking employees at that job into buying, you know, the baked goods or the holiday ornaments or whatever other piece of shit made in China crap that we can hawk off and try to raise money so we can get a new scoreboard this year, which we don't actually need, by the way, because everybody can fucking keep scoring their own heads if they have to, and the current scoreboard works fine. But enough about that. Let's get back into more dangerous shit from when you were kids. What else? Shooting each other with paintball guns in the woods behind an elementary school. Yeah, man. 7-Eleven changed everything. You can't do shit anymore. I remember back in the day, you used to be able to I remember bringing my BB gun to school. And I get it. Guns is a sensitive issue. I really do get it. There are people that don't like guns. But back in the day, you used to be able to, I remember a friend of mine brought a pellet gun to school. We used to go crazy with the paint guns. And now, man, you got to watch that shit. You know, even like some obvious colored fucking pistol, like it's a water pistol, it's painted green or orange, or it's a paintball gun, or it's a Nerf dart gun. Like my kid's got a whole arsenal of those upstairs. Bring one of those to school, man. You get called a terrorist this day and age. Can't fucking do that shit. Talk to strangers on the internet. Hell, back in my time, there wasn't even a fucking internet. And thank God, actually, quite frankly, thank God there wasn't an internet, because I would have gotten in all kinds of trouble back then. If you'd given me access to video cameras and a signal just to send out to anybody at any time, anywhere, I would have gotten into I'd probably actually be in jail right now. There'd probably be video evidence of me doing something extremely fucked up that would have landed me in jail. I can't remember anything specific right now, and even if I did, I would take the Fifth Amendment on that. But we were doing jackass shit before there was jackass. We were taking the sled and the wagon, the red rider wagon, all the way down the hill. It was Division Street Hill in Colfax, Iowa, where I grew up, and you would start at the top and you would just roll down that motherfucker. No safety harnesses, no helmet, oncoming traffic heading up the hill right at you. No one gave a shit. In fact, it was laughable. Cars are pulling over, taking videos, or not videos, but taking pictures and laughing about that shit. Trisha joining in, Ann joining in, Don, Tammy, hey guys, thanks. Hit the share button, hit the like button. Anybody in Michigan right now who might be watching, make sure to either tell your friends or head on out to Bay City tomorrow night to see my show, Comedy Night Live with JerDog at AJ Bailey's, Bay City, Michigan, tomorrow night, January 12th. And also in Central Michigan, Grand Rapids area, I'll be heading to Lowell this Saturday, Lowell, Michigan, for a show at Larkin's Comedy, sponsored, promoted, presented by Jerry Donovan Comedy. And I think that one might be sold out. I'm not sure. But in any case, if you got any people from Michigan watching right now, if you know anybody in Michigan, share this with them. Let them know that JerDog is coming to town. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, there's going to be a JerDog show. I don't give a fuck. I will drive 12 hours to a gig through a blizzard. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I'm not saying it's fun. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I won't complain like a bitch the entire way to the gig. But that said, I'll still drive the 12 hours and do the gig, get on stage and make people laugh for an hour and a half. I'm not going to pussy out if it comes to just walking 10 minutes to school or driving a mile and a half. You know, and what about the parents that actually do work? Now they get a call at 5 a.m. They got to be getting their ass to work. Instead, they got to scramble all over the place to find last-minute childcare. What kind of bullshit is that? Back in the day, you kind of liked the snow day, but it was also a pain in the ass when summertime rolled around. And you had to make up those snow days. That was bullshit. If I'm going to be stuck, cooped up inside somewhere, I'd rather be in school when the weather is shitty than in school when the weather is nice and all I want to do is go swimming. You know, so fuck these snow days. I don't give a shit. I don't care about safety. I don't care about feelings. You know, All I care about is to make sure that I've got my time and space that I need in order to get my shit done during the day. Actually, my kids have been fucking great today. They got a little bit of a problem early this morning. You know, they weren't quite sure how they're going to handle themselves being a day off from school and all. But listen, guys, we got work to get done today. You know, your dad's got to write some jokes. That's very important business. He's got to get on the Facebook live camera and start talking shit to everybody. That's very important business. What my wife does actually is pretty important. And so she does need a quiet time, a quiet space in order to be able to do all that. And my kids have been fucking great until like this last few minutes. They started going ape shit over some Star Wars game or whatever they got that playing upstairs. But what else, man? I got like 63 comments when I asked that question earlier about shit that used to be okay. You know, it used to be okay to pick teams in PE, and now you can't pick teams in PE because someone inevitably is going to get picked last, and they're going to feel bad about it. They're going to feel bad that they're not quite as good at dodgeball as everybody else is. Well, you know what that person who got picked last in PE is usually pretty good at? Like reading, writing, academics, things like that. You know the guys that got picked first in fucking dodgeball or in pickup games in PE, whatever. You know those dudes were usually dunderheads. All right, I was right in the middle, okay? I was just smart enough to get by, just good enough to not get picked last, just smart enough to get by in my classes, not a complete fucking dunderhead, a little bit, enough of one, but not a complete dunderhead, you know, not shitty enough for the sport to get picked last. And if I did get picked last, I wouldn't be like crying about it and woe is me and why do I always get picked last. I'd be trying to figure out what the fuck do I need to do to get better at the sport in order to not get picked last. If it's really that big of a deal to me to not get picked last in PE, maybe, here's a thought, maybe instead of just handing out participation trophies left and right, you actually teach these fucking kids how to get good at the sport so as not to get picked last. That's just a thought. What do I know? I'm just a jackass comedian douchebag that talks into a camera to complete strangers. Actually, you guys are all my friends. I'm talking about the people who are going to watch the replay later on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. It's at the Bar Comic. I'll put a link in the comments here as well, along with the link where you can get my CD, Totally Baked, completely for free. I'll put a link up as well. You just go on there, put in your email, put in your shipping address, and I will send you my CD. I will send you my Bar Comics. What else, man? I had a lot of comments come up, and this was so fun. I've been fired up all day long. Can't wait to talk about this. Riding shotgun in an old truck with a dashboard made out of steel and no seat belts while passing the old man beers as we drove the gravel Michigan back roads. I knew there's a reason why I get along with Michigan people so well. I fit in really fucking well that state. That's the kind of crazy shit you're doing. Gary says, how come you smell like summer's eve? How do you smell that shit through the phone, dude? Through the camera here. That's crazy. Usually the only thing people can smell through these videos is my weed, which I'm out of, by the way. Hint, hint, all my Michigan peeps right now that might be watching. Enough about that. Riding on handlebars, fuck yeah. And you know, another thing, like, why can't we lower the drinking age? Like what? Like I offered my kid a glass of wine, a glass of beer over Thanksgiving. I'm like, you're 14 years old now. You could have do you want a glass of wine? You want a glass of beer? He said no. But if he wanted to try some, I'm all fucking for it. Just like, you know, in Europe, in France, where they start the kids off drinking at just a little bitty age, just a little bit here, a little bit there. So that way later on when they're of age, when they turn 21 and they're released out on the world as adults, they don't go fucking crazy with it. You deny kids alcohol until they turn 21. When they do turn 21, they're like fucking caged animals. I didn't even wait till I was 21, and I was like a fucking caged animal when it came to drinking. I was like, yeah, I'm drinking, fucking bottle of peach schnapps, drink the entire goddamn thing, and then shit my pants. Some of you have seen my stand-up, know that story. I'm not going to get into it right now. But that's the kind of shit that happens. If you know, listen, all right, I want to get a little bit of a buzz tonight. I know that one or two will probably get the job done, you know. Not at this age of 42. Now it takes me like 10 fucking beers to even get a buzz, especially some of that Busch Light, Budweiser, Bud Light, you know, any of the lights, any of the domestic lights that they sell at most of these bars that I go to, which there's nothing wrong with any of that. But, I've been drinking it for so goddamn long. It's pretty much like piss water now to me. I need something a little bit heavier, a little bit something stronger in order to get a buzz just a little bit quicker. But back in the day, you didn't know that shit. Back in the day when I first started drinking, two beers, and I was done for, man. But you don't know that shit. You just get released out into the world. Hey, you're 21 now. Figure it out. We need less safety. Safety third. That's my motto. Safety fucking third, all right? Let's teach our kids how to drink. Let's teach them how to get drunk. Let's teach them how to shoot Roman fucking candles out of the back of a pickup truck while they're driving down icy roads on their way to an elementary school that morning with the fucking thing loaded up with fireworks, loaded up with squirt guns, loaded up with dodgeballs. And let's teach kids how to fucking do that shit and quit pussifying everybody with these goddamn get picked first, even though you're the fat kid that can't even hit a baseball, you can't even catch the kickball, but you still got to be picked first just to make you feel better. And then when you lose the game, here's your fucking participation trophy. Enough with the nonsense. Let's get the kids back into school. Enough with the preemptive bullshit. Oh, it's safety. It's safety. We gotta make sure that everybody is safe. There might be a bad weather today, so let's just call off school now. Fuck that horse shit. Instead, get your asses out there, brave the fucking, I'm the royal you, of course. You watching right now, you're cool. Everybody knows that. But all the other pussies out there need to get their shit together and stop complaining. Stop complaining when you're easily offended at a comedy show. Don't go to the fucking bar, all right? This weekend, if you want to come out and see my show, because I ain't gonna hold back then. I don't hold back on these videos. I give it to you guys real. I give it to you honest. I give it to you authentic. That's what makes the best comedy. That's what I'm all about. Just keeping it fun. Just keeping it fun. At the end of the day, this shit doesn't even piss me off anyway. It's all just fronting for the sake of fun. So, hey guys, I'm heading out. I gotta pack up. I've got a lot of shit to get done before I drive my 12 hours through the snow, through the rain, through the sleet, through the icy conditions, battling dumb fucking drivers the entire way to Bay City, Michigan tomorrow night for a show at AJ Bailey's. Also, go on to the link that I provide here and get my CD, Totally Baked, for free. What else? I'll be back on Monday for another live video blog here at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. Until then, enough with the participation trophies. Get out there, grow some fucking balls. Ladies, I'm talking to you too, metaphorically speaking. Y'all got some brass ovaries. I know you do. So get out there. Enough with the participation trophy bullshit. Enough with the safety bullshit. Safety third. That's my motto. And dog bless America.